the end of the year, the end of the holidays. Today we're going to be tackling the last of 2024's VR news. And we're going to begin with Meta now confirms that for those on a Quest 2 especially, who have long had it stashed away and then using it after a long period of time, updating to the V72, it's causing problems, it's bricking headsets. In rare instances, it's happening to others with the Quest 3 and 3S as well, though largely it seems to be a product of coming from a Quest 2 or potentially a Quest 3, having not used it for a long time, and making that huge jump to the new software. It's causing all kinds of problems. I haven't had it happen to me. I don't know anyone who it's happened to personally, but it is happening. And so if you're on V71 right now, you may want to put it off. You may want to wait just a little bit until we have confirmation that this is resolved. If you've already had this happen to you, Meta is telling us that you should hold the power button for about 45 seconds, and hopefully that does a hard reset and gets you back in. If that doesn't work, you should contact Meta immediately, and one way or another, they'll be resolving it. Even if you're still on a Meta Quest 2, it seems like they're going to work this out. They're going to aim to fix it. Now, I will say, if you're on a Meta Quest 2 and either you've updated and you've had this issue, or you're scared to update, that's valid. I would wait. But at the same time, the Quest 2 is antiquated now. A lot of games depend on the Meta Quest 3 and 3S's chipset, and with the end of the year upon us, this holiday sale of 20% off all these new games, and even as much as $60 Quest cash when buying a new headset. If you're going to update, if you're going to upgrade to keep up with these new games and to just avoid this headache, do it before 2025 and get that $60 Quest cash. Now, as I mentioned, I have not had this issue. You probably won't have this issue. If you've been keeping up with updates and you're going from 71 to 72, you'll probably be fine. But if you want to stay on the safe side and take your time and wait, I think that would be advisable. Now, for context, looking at the details of this is from Road to VR. It says, according to mass user reports that flooded Reddit December 25th, some new Quest owners encountered a critical error after being forced to apply the latest update, with an error message stating, your device is corrupt, it can't be trusted. From there was no way of resetting the headset, effectively bricking the device. And in that same article, Meta is confirming, as I mentioned, that they're actively working to fix it. And if that's you, if you have a 3, 3S, or even a 2, I believe, hold that power button, call these people, and work to get it resolved. Just cutting in real quick to say I'm glad you're here. Please subscribe and like this video. It would do my channel a world of good. I also just barely launched YouTube memberships and Patreon again after about a year's hiatus. And while YouTube memberships will get you guys early access and your own badges, Patreon, you have access to the mailbag, early access. I'll answer your questions pre-recorded right here, implanted in these videos, access to members only content, and the occasional giveaway behind the scenes. It's not for everyone. If you can't afford it, please do not bother. But if you want it, if you can join me there, there's no one there yet. It's so empty. And so I'd love to have you. Thanks again. Back to the show. Now, piggybacking off of that story, near the end, I mentioned those discounts, but it's worth mentioning a second time in its own category all by itself. With the end of 2024, this whole month through the holidays, we've had 20% off on virtually every single game available. We've also had $60 Quest cash for anyone who buys a Quest 3 or 3S, and you'll still find savings using this link. If it's 2025 when you watch this, you'll still get $30 Quest cash and 10% off games by using any links I provide. And as highlighted by this article from Road to VR, a few of these games are already on sale to begin with some of them being as low as 50%, never mind my discount. Arizona Sunshine Remake is now $24 versus the $30. Demio is $20 instead of $40. Moss Book 2 is $14 instead of $20, and the list goes on. And so if you're looking for new titles, new games, or if I'm talking to you and you need a new VR headset, then check the links below. You'd be supporting my channel and get it while it's hot. Next up, Pimax announces Dream Air, a compact VR headset with one totally unique feature. A head strap that automatically tightens when you put it on, which would be an industry first. It appears as if they're trying to, combat Apple Vision Pro with a glass front panel. It seems to be lightweight compared to everything else they've produced, but it should be noted that these people promise a lot of things and they don't deliver on much of anything. And let's go ahead and look at some of their greatest hits. First off, we'll look at the Pimax 8K. Here's the promise. The Pimax 8K was marketed as the first VR headset with dual 4K displays, promising an incredibly high resolution experience and a wide 200-degree field of view. And while the FOV was impressive, the displays used upscaling rather than native 8K resolution, leading to underwhelming image quality. The device also faced significant delays and issues with build quality, comfort, and performance. Next, the Pimax 5K. They promised. The 5K Plus was an upgrade to the Pimax 5K, offering a high refresh rate and improved clarity along with the same wide FOV. In reality, early adopters reported problems like distortion at the edges of the FOV, poor software optimization, and frequent crashes. Some backers received their units months or even years after the initial promised delivery date. And then we have the Pimax Reality 12K QLED. Here's what they promised. Announced in late 2021, the Pimax Reality 12K QLED was touted as a next-generation VR headset with dual 6K displays, QLED technology, eye tracking, hand tracking, and standalone capability. In reality, as of late 2024, the headset has seen repeated delays. Many customers and backers expressed frustration over the lack of clear updates and concerns that the ambitious feature set might not be feasible to deliver. You think that's it? That's not it. The Pimax Artisan. They promised that it was positioned as a budget-friendly alternative with high-end features aimed at making wide FOV VR more accessible. In reality, while the Artisan did ship, it suffered from similar distortion issues as other Pimax headsets and lacked the polish and user-friendliness seen in competitors like HTC and Meta. And that's everything. No, it's not. Kickstarting campaign delays. During a Kickstarter campaign, Pimax consistently set ambitious timelines for delivering headsets and accessories like controllers and base stations. In reality, many backers experienced significant delays, with some waiting years for promised products. The lack of clear communication and incomplete shipments, such as headsets delivered without essential accessories, eroded its trust among customers. I don't trust these people as far as I can throw them. And it's not very far, based on how heavy their headsets are. And while we want that wider field of view, those models have consistently had this warping around the edges that I don't think people like. If you've tried it, let me know down below. What they're claiming is 200 grams weight, which means that we're getting into big screen beyond territory. Micro OLED 4K per eye, 90 Hertz and HDR, 102 degrees field of view, which is interesting. And if my memory serves me correct, that's less than what the Quest 3 offers, but more than what the Quest 3S offers. They show slam tracking, motion controllers, hand tracking, onboard audio, optional prescription lenses, eye tracking, and automatic IPD, along with that automatic strap tightening that we mentioned. But as I mentioned at the very top of this, it should be taken with a grain of salt. I'm not sure that these people have ever publicly announced a headset and then delivered that headset on time or as spec'd initially. And for a headset that's supposed to cost $1,900, there's no appetite for that. The Vision Pro hasn't been sustainable. They cut that back, and it's not offering enough. The field of view is not good enough. The production has been unreliable in the past, and nobody wants to spend $1,900 on a headset. I think a lot of us would be happy to spend $1,000 on a headset, provided we could stomach it. Spend that money on a headset that does everything. But right now, the MetaQuest 3 just does too much for $500. Now, I don't know what these people are thinking. I don't know where they think the market is for a $1,900 headset that doesn't have the ecosystem that Meta does. And next up, Subside is coming to PlayStation VR 2 today with PS5 Pro enhancements. Now, I've had a chance to play Subside, and graphically, it's a very cool game. You get Subnautica vibes when underwater and exploring. Granted, I've only used the demo, and so I was restricted to a small map. But if your computer can stomach the increased visuals, and if you can pump that up to ultra, it's a very cool experience. The demo that I tried consisted of being underwater, kind of scuba diving, searching for keys and tokens and different things on the ocean's floor, finding chests in an attempt to progress to the next level. And visually, I'll say it was very pretty. It's not stunning, it's not amazing, but for an underwater game, it hits all the marks. And again, if you guys have tried that, let me know. Now, last two items really fast. Tomorrow I plan on doing a live stream from 9 p.m. Mountain Standard Time into midnight. I hope you guys will join me there. It's going to be fun. We'll talk about VR news, talk about our favorite games, and I may even have a couple things to give away. I hope to see you guys there. I'm going to be at CES on the 7th and 8th in Las Vegas. If you see me, say hi and say Godspeed.